focus for the Space Marines. Let me get this over on the right thing. There we go. So, I mean, this is just the pre-index stuff they're giving us for 10th edition, so let's jump right into it. It's just an overview here. Space Marines are the poster boys. Definitely gonna be a bias-free faction. You know, just trying to be funny here. Space Marine's always been the toughest warriors around. I mean, in the books, not necessarily in the game. And once again, live up to the legend on the tabletop. That would be nice. Terminator, Centurion, Gravis armor, all have higher toughness. That's wonderful. Game-wide reduction in armor penetration. Makes power armor feel as tough as it should be. That would be great. Rerolls to hit and wound are much rarer now. We'll see about that. And so let's just get into the... guess let's look at this Oath of the Moment first. This is what they released in the faction rules thing. We'll come back. That doesn't want to load. So combat doctrines. This is what you can get in the Gladius Task Force, which is the main detachment you're going to get to start 10th edition. Everybody's getting one in the indexes. So combat doctrines, it's what they had before, but let's see. Part of your next command phase, that combat doctrine is active, and its effects apply to all Adeptus Astartes units from your army. With this ability, you can only select each combat doctrine once per battle. Alright, so now instead of at the start of each battle round automatically being in doctrines, you have to do it at the start of your command phase, and you can only do each one once. That's slightly different. So if you go second, turn 1, the other player's turn 1, you won't be able to be in doctrines. I'm feeling that's not going to be that big a deal. Doctrines are normally offensive, so let's see what they do. Devastator Doctrine. This unit is able to shoot in a turn in which it advanced. That's really solid. That's what Ravenwing had in Devastator Doctrine before. So there's some units that'll be really great for, bikes, stuff like that. So Ravenwing type stuff will be really great in that. Irregular troops. Well, that's what I was thinking. Devastator first turn. You could do this turn 3, turn 4. So this really could be pretty solid for anything in your army. You just need those couple extra inches to get in position and get some shots off. I like it. Tactical Doctrine. Units eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. Love that. That gives you a lot of flexibility. Someone thinks they got you tied up. Oh, you're not going to be able to shoot. You're not going to be able to do whatever. Think they can just kind of stop you from doing charges. Nope. Pop Tac Doctrine. Fall back. Shoot them. Still charge other units. Very strong. Assault Doctrine. Units available to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. Love that. That's, so advancing, you have 2 turns where you can advance and still be effective. You advance and shoot, and the next turn you'll be in position to advance and charge. And then next turn, fall back out of combat, shoot, charge, yeah. This gives a lot of flexibility because you can choose the order depending on what you're playing and what situations you're in. I really like that rule. I'm really excited to put some Marines on the table with this. Only work once per battle. Yep, that's what it says. And then combined with Oath of the Moment. Alright, that finally load. Alright, so let's go over here. Oath of the Moment. This is the just Adeptus Astartes rule. Should be no matter what detachment you're in. Possibly when they release like Space. That may replace this with a different rule, or it might stack with it. We'll see. If your army faction is Adeptus Astartes, the start of your command phase, select 1 unit from your opponent's army until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model from your army with this ability makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, you can reroll the hit roll, and you can reroll the wound roll. Alright, well, there you go. Just full rerolls to hit and wound against 1 unit. Depending on what you're facing, playing like Knights or something like that, that's super strong. Playing Genestealer Cult, something more MSU like that, not that strong because you're normally not having trouble killing them anyway. But overall, a solid rule, I believe. Let's see. Unit Spotlight. Said about the Land Raider. Land Raiders haven't been good in a long time. So let's see what they give us here. Assault Rampage back, dropping cargoes of Terminators, Aggressors, whatever else you choose, right into the attack, right into the thick of things, ready to charge. Alright, so let's see. Each time a unit disembarks from this model after it's made a normal move, that unit is still eligible to declare charge this turn. That's great. So you basically have 10 inches. I'm assuming disembarks will still be 3, so basically 13 inches in the charge. Yeah, your slower units like Terminators and stuff like that, that's going to be really solid. Especially with, say, turn 1, you advance your Land Raider up, can still shoot with it because you popped yourself in Dev Doctrine. Hopefully, with things being more survivable, the Land Raider lives. Now, next turn, you can go another 10 inches, pop your Terminators out. You're in people's deployment zones. Space Wolves with Wolfen. Who else has good turns get in the Land Raider? Let's see, does it say? Yeah, we can put some Centurions on there, so that might bring Centurions back. So that is solid. If the point cost isn't too prohibitive, I would definitely put a Land Raider on the table. So let's look at his stats. His move 10, we're at that toughness 12. That's basically what most stuff that was toughness 8 is going to. 2 up save, 16 wounds, 6 up leadership, 5 objective control. That's pretty big. So a regular 5-man infantry squad only can test this, unless they're battle line, and then they're probably 2 objective control each. So then they take it, but a regular 5-man squad of something, Land Raider holds it just as well as they do. That's pretty good. Godhammer Las Cannon, 48 inches, 2 attacks, hits on 3s. Strength 12, neg 30, d6 plus 1. I've never been a big fan of d6 damage, so plus 1 helps a little bit. No special rules on it, no heavy, no nothing like that, so you're never going to be hitting on better than the 3, just unless you put some strats or so. We'll see what you get on all that, but just nothing from the weapon or the vehicle gives you anything to automatically hit better than 3 up. But you don't hit worse than 3 up, so that's fine. Neg 3 on the last cannon's good, and strength 12 is solid. You'll be wounding other Land Raiders on 4s. Hunter Killer Missile, 1 shot. I'm assuming it's 1 shot like before. 48 inches, 1 attack. Hits on a 2. That's nice with a 1-shot weapon. Strength 14, neg 3, still only d6 damage. The 1-shot weapon, I wish they would have given it something like that, but we'll see how many points. You ought to get it. 10 points, 15 points. See if that's worth taking. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Once per battle. Multi-Melta. Melta 2. If you're here when we went over the special rules for weapons, Melta basically means, just like it does now, half range. You do the extra damage of the number, so in half range you'll do 2 damage. But it went down to 18 inches. So you're only doing extra damage at 9 instead of 12, and you're only shooting full range at 18 instead of 24 skill. Strength 9. So technically it went up in strength, but now it's worse against vehicles. It used to wound Land Raiders on 4s and stuff like Rhinos on 3s. Now it's going to wound Land Raiders on 5 and Rhinos on 4. So that is actually a big hit to Meltas. We'll see. I know a lot of people are running a lot of Melta. They're still going to be good into infantry, but we'll see if vehicles get the bump in play that I'm thinking they're going to get. That's a huge nerf to Melta. AP neg 4, and once again, d6 damage. You get in half range, you get the 2, but that's only 9 inches. So that's... Don't wound as well. Still unreliable on damage. I'm wondering if we'll see Melta as much as we do right now. Stormbolter. Rapid Fire 2, so that's half range. You get 2 extra shots. 24 inches to 12, that's the same as now. 2 shots, half range 4 shots, same as now. 3 up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Basically exactly the same. Nothing has changed on the Stormbolter. Twin Heavy Bolter. Sustained hits 1, twin linked. So Sustained hits 1 means on critical hits, with your 6s to hit, you will get 1 extra hit. And twin linked means you get to reroll your wounds. So 36 inches, same as now. 3 attacks, same as now. Although the twin, I think, used to be 6. So it's the same as a regular heavy bolter, you just get to reroll wounds now. Blisssteel 3 save, strength 5, neg 1, 2 damage. So that profile pretty much stayed the same. It's just twin linked is now rerolling wounds instead of double shots. So once every other shot, you should get a 6, you get an extra hit, but you also get a 1. So really all the sustained hits, oh no, 2s you'll miss. So really, you shoot it 6 times, you should get 5 hits instead of 4 hits, statistically. So that's alright, that's okay. Armored tracks, 6 attacks, 4 up to hit. That's way better. Vehicles were hitting on 6s for the most part, last edition. Strength 8, AP 0, 1 damage. But you're not using Land Raiders for their combat prowess, so that's okay, especially since they can now still shoot out of combat. You can pop your fallback and charge, tack doctrine if you need to. Overall solid. We'll see what the points are, but I'm definitely liking the profile on the Land Raider, especially with the assault rare. Transport 12 Adeptus Astartes infantry. I believe that was down to 10 in the last edition, but I could be wrong. So that's good. So you can put a full squad and a character in there. Each jump pack, Wolf and Gravis or Terminator model takes up 2 models, and each Centurion takes up 3. So you can put 4 Centurions in there, or you can put 5 Terminators and 2 regular characters, or 5 Terminators and 1 Terminator character, just depending on what can and can't attach to the Terminators. Wolf and Gravis, jump pack. Oh, you can put jump pack units in there. Jump packs. That moves 10, get out 13. So, I mean, it'll help protect them, but really is not speeding them up that much. Especially if you pop Assault Doctrine, they can advance in charge, they'd go 12. Well, I'm assuming jump packs are 12. We haven't seen jump packs. But if they're still 12 and you can advance, you're actually slower on the turn you go Assault Doctrine. Then, so, I don't know why you'd put jump pack in there, but you can. Vehicle. Smoke, so you can use the smoke strat from the core rulebook. Transport, Imperium Land Raider. And then we got old Bobby G down here. As tough as a tank, twice as deadly. Alright, so Lord Commander Imperium, Strategic Genius. Alright. So, Guilliman, 8-inch move, toughness 9. So he's the same toughness as a Rhino now. 2-up save, 10 wounds. Leadership 5, objective control 4. So actually, Land Raider controls the objective better than Guilliman, but he's still equal to 4 normal models or 2 of what we've seen of the battle line so far. And the Dominion Rapid Fire 2, so 2 extra shots at 15 inches because he's a 30-inch range. So that's 2 attacks or 4 at half range. Hitting on 2, strength 6, neg 2, 2 damage. Solid, not amazing, solid weapon. Emperor's Sword, devastating wounds. 14 attacks, 2-up weapon skill, so hitting on 2s. Strength 8, neg 3, 2 damage. Devastating wounds means that 6s to wound will be doing mortal damage. So in this case, we'll be doing 2 damage for each 6 to wound. On 14 attacks, hitting on 2s, you should hit like 12 times. Roll to wound, you should get at least 2. So you should be averaging 4 mortal wounds with him. Obviously, rolling that many dice, it could spike. You have a better chance of spiking, I think you do, than you do of not rolling any 6s. Although I'm sure those of you out there that happens to quite frequently, where you never roll 6s, but statistically, it should be solid there. Hand of Dominion, 7 attacks, 2 up to hit, strength 14, neg 4, 4 damage. Has lethal hits, which means 6s to hit, auto wound. That's solid. So basically, statistically should be getting 1 auto wound per attack. He's strength 14, so you're probably wounding most stuff. Even Land Raiders, you're wounding on 3s, so it stops you rolling dice for that 1 or 2 attacks you roll the 6th one, but He's already wounding most stuff well, so it's not that big a buff. Devastating wounds definitely. One Emperor Sword is definitely, I think, much more solid. So basically, you gotta spend all the weapon rolls. You only get to swing multiple weapons if some of them have the extra attacks keyword, and these don't. So you'll be choosing one each turn. So you'll get 14 or 7, not 21. Let's look at his abilities. So, to the moment, in your Arthur of the Codex. In your command phase, select one Arthur of the Codex ability, see left. Until the start of your next command phase, this model has that ability. Alright, so you got these 3 abilities here. He doesn't get all 3 at the same time. Each command phase, you choose one. Primarch of the Ninth. This is an aura. While a friendly Adeptus Stars unit is within 6 inches of this model, add 1 to the objective control characteristics of models in that unit. We'll see, you're trying to score those primary in a tight game, and then you don't want to fail your battle shot. That could be useful. Master of Battle. After you have selected an enemy unit using Oath of the Moment ability, select a second unit until the start of your next command phase. If the first unit selected has been destroyed, each time a friendly Adeptus Stars model that makes an attack that targets a second unit, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll. So you basically get Oath of the Moment twice. I do like that you have to kill the first unit first. You're not just auto getting it on 2 units. So if you don't put enough into the first unit and leave like one model alive out of line of sight of some other stuff, they're not going to get that against the second unit. So you have to make sure you kill the first unit. So that's, I like that you don't just auto get it. You have to kill your first target first. Supreme Strategist. Once per turn, you can target one friendly Adeptus Astartes unit within 12 inches of this model with a stratagem for 0 CP. And you can do so even if another unit from your army has already been targeted with that stratagem this phase. That's really nice, especially early, because I believe we're starting with less CP to start with. So using this, you get a free strat, helps you save up so you have strat CP to do strat later. If you have a key strat that you really want to go off, you can do it twice. So depending on what strats Marines get, that could be great. I wonder if you could use this for rapid ingress. So bring in into your opponent's turn. So you pop this on your turn, 1, or your turn 2, depending on you go first or second. And then your opponent brings in, or at the end of your opponent's improvement phase, you could bring in 2 units from reserve instead of 1. I'm sure there'll be other strats it works on. That's just the first one that popped into my head. That's really good. 4 up invul saves, pretty solid. Weapon Spotlight, well known for. So I'm going to look at the Redemptor Dreadnought Heavy Onslaught Cannon. I always preferred the Macroplasma. We'll see if this changes my mind for the new edition. Range 24, 12 attacks, Lucille 3. I think that's all the same, or was this 30 inches before? This may have been 30 before. I'm not 100% sure. Strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage. I believe it used to be AP 1. Alright, so it lost an AP, possibly lost 6 inches of range, but gains the potential to do mortals on 12 shots, but it's only 1 damage. Not wowing me there. But with the ability to full reroll, hit, and wound, you could fish for the 6s to wound, I guess. Yeah, so definitely not going to be good against vehicles at all. So let's see the Heavy Laser Destroyer, a vehicle specialized for killing vehicles. 72-inch range. Well, board's 40 by 60 or 44 by 60 now, so that's everything's in range. 2 attacks, 3 up save, or I keep saying save, 3 up ballistic skill, strength 16. So that's wounding most vehicles on a 3, because so far Rhino is the weakest we've seen at toughness 9. So I'm sure there'll be some little stuff like venom and stuff that might be smaller, but most vehicles will be wounding on a 3. Neg 4, D6 plus 4. That's a solid damage profile. And it has heavy, so if you don't move your vehicle, you're hitting on 2s. With only 2 shots, that's really nice. Pretty solid. Good strength, good damage, good AP, but not a lot of shots, so you can't hit stuff, but still that potential to roll those 1s. Death does do the end. Fight phase, just when a unit has selected its targets, one adept is started unit from your army that was selected as a target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that model has not fought this phase, do not remove from play. The destroyed model can fight after attacking model's unit has finished making its attack. It doesn't remove from play. Basically, give a unit fight on death. Do that for 0 CP if you pop Gilliman, or if they charge a bunch of your stuff, you could pop it for 2 CP and then use Gilliman to pop it again for 0 CP. Could be useful. Fight on death, like I've played Wolfen and stuff. You saw the Creations of Bile doing fairly well. Anytime you have a fight on death strat is solid. So that's pretty much it for the Marine rules. I'm liking what I see. It looks like a very flexible army with the doctrines, the rerolls, the transports. So we'll see we're flexible and we can adapt to most situations, which honestly is how Marines, especially generic vanilla Marines, should play. So a little bit later, we're going to be getting into the Tyranid and Chaos Marine faction focuses today. I may have time to do a fourth. I may not. Just trying to get caught up on them. I want to try to get them all done before the edition comes out. So it's just coming out beginning or mid